Hi, I'm Viola Grace with today's segment of What's Going On in Education. Today we are going to look at a different teaching methodology known as guided discovery. According to the website The Responsive Classroom, guided discovery is a teaching strategy used to introduce materials in the classroom. The primary goal of guided discovery is to generate interest and excitement about classroom resources and help children explore their possible uses. But it also provides opportunities to introduce vocabulary, assess children's prior knowledge, and teach responsible use and care of materials. A guided discovery lesson can take as little as 15 or 20 minutes, but the interest and excitement that are generated and the skills that children practice support academic learning throughout the day. For teachers, the goals of guided discoveries are to excite students about classroom materials, to help students explore materials with confidence and imagination, and to build a repertoire of constructive ways to use the materials in their academic learning, to enable students to make independent and purposeful choices, to establish and teach norms and routines for the use, care, and storage of materials. Guided discovery has a deep impact on our children's learning and effectively teaches the skills of the habits of mind. The habits of mind are a set of skills that a person needs to effectively operate in society. There are 16 skills. Listed, the 16 skills are persisting, which is sticking to the task at hand, managing impulsivity, listening with understanding and empathy, thinking flexibly, thinking about thinking, striving for accuracy, questioning and posing problems, applying past knowledge to new situations, thinking and communicating with clarity and precision, gathering data through all senses, creating, imagining, and innovating, responding with wonderment and awe, taking responsible risk, finding humor, thinking interdependently, remaining open to continuous learning. Children get interested in classroom materials and learn how to use them creatively in their academic work. They have opportunities to stretch their thinking and work interdependently. Perhaps most importantly, children are at the center of the process. Every aspect of guided discovery encourages children to offer ideas, act on them, and to share the results of their work with others, which stimulates everyone's thinking about future uses of the material. There are 5 steps you should follow in using the guided discovery approach in your classroom. The first being introduction and naming. There are 2 main goals to keep in mind in introduction and naming. The first is to get children interested in the material. This can be done by creating a mystery to engage children's thinking and help them see familiar materials with fresh eyes. The second goal of step 1 is to build a common knowledge base. This goal is achieved by asking students open-ended questions. Open-ended questions have more than one answer. Some examples are, what do you know about volcanoes? Or when is a good time of day to play outside? According to Mark Prensky, who is the author of Teaching Digital Natives, Partnering for Real Learning, says that questions are the devices that frames, guides, and ultimately evaluates all learning. Step 2 is generating and modeling students' ideas. In step 2, the teacher invites children to think through how to use the material. Step 3 is the exploration and experimentation stage. After all the students have generated a list of ideas and a few children have modeled ideas, it's time for students to independently explore the material. They tend to begin trying what is modeled, but with encouragement, they'll soon start experimenting with new ideas. Although the teacher sets some limits on the task, the children can still make choices about how to do the task. They learn to turn their own and their own classmates' resources rather than always looking to the teacher. Step 4 is about sharing exploratory work. There are many opportunities during guided discovery for children to learn from each other. They share and model their ideas, sometimes help each other during exploration, and at the end of guided discovery, they have an opportunity to share their work that they've done. Teachers must remember that work sharing is always voluntary. In order for students to feel free to experiment, they need to know they won't have to make their results public. Here's an example of combining step 3 and step 4 of the guided discover process.
Okay, so you're gonna look and then we'll talk. Jose, what did you notice?
In the dictionary, I didn't know a word, but there was a picture and it showed what it was.
Okay. Anybody else know something different? Lydia?
I looked for a rat and there was a picture of a rat.
Okay. Now, I want to see if we can together try to find the word glisten. Let's look at it on our poem. Where do you think we need to look in our dictionaries to try to find the word glisten?
The 5th and final step is the cleanup and care of materials. To wrap up the lesson, the teacher engages children in thinking through modeling and practicing how they will clean up materials, put them away, and access them independently at a later time. As in previous steps, it is the children who generate and model the ideas. Guided discovery is a good example of cooperative or collaborative learning. Cooperative or collaborative learning is a team process where members support and rely on each other to achieve an agreed upon goal. The advantage of guided discovery are that guided discovery problems are inherently engaging because they take advantage of the brain's natural attraction toward progressive tasks, each with just the right degree of challenge. Students not only learn the concepts, they also learn that they are capable of logically, step by step, working toward the solution of a scientific puzzle, even if at first glance the puzzle seems unsolvable. Moreover, guided discovery problems are especially effective at challenging and overcoming a major block to learning: students' misconceptions and naive preconceptions. There are some disadvantages to guided discovery. Students have little input in the planning and development of their lesson, so the lesson tends to be centered around the requirements of the teacher and the curriculum.